This is Art to Vany. He's 73 years old, has the body composition of a 22-year-old, hasn't been sick in 30 years, and is married to Carmela. He's regarded as the grandfather of the modern paleo movement and calls himself a 21st century caveman. Even though he favors an Armani suit and is an influential economist and wrote the book on Hollywood economics. 30 years ago, when his son was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, he went on a mission to help his child by learning everything he could about metabolism and how it affects health and longevity. He used his research skills and statistical models to track how different foods affected her insulin levels. He made a revolutionary discovery that changed their lives and will change yours.
The human body hasn't changed in 40,000 years. That means our genes haven't changed and that they simply have to express themselves in an environment that they find very strange compared to the environment in which they evolved through the ice ages. Command and control diets simply do not work. They cause stress. Every time you think about food, you also release insulin, so constantly thinking about the many meals you're going to be eating causes you to actually become hungry, strangely enough. If you want to live a long time and you want to be lean, one of the things you have to do right away is to learn how to control your insulin. Turns out this is a simple thing to do. Once your body composition hits the right level, your insulin will properly send nutrients where they belong, not to your fat cells, but to your brain, your muscle, and your nervous system. You do that by simply taking note of the kind of foods that you eat and gradually eliminating the offending carbohydrates. You can do this yourself by testing your own blood sugar, or you can simply start with the original human diet that all humans ate for 3 million years or so. That means you start with the basic food groups that are available during the Paleolithic. In other words, vegetables, lean meats, seafood, fruits, although sparing because modern fruits are rather sugary, topped off with nuts and then some wonderful spices for antioxidants and flavor. This is an example of the kind of foods that we eat on the New Evolution diet. We begin usually with vegetables as a base for the foods we eat, and so we have asparagus and spinach here. Loads of celery for the texture and the crunch that people miss when they start giving up bread. Artichoke hearts also, which are wonderfully fibrous. Olives, and then, of course, prepared chicken with lots of garlic, lightly grilled in the pan. Salmon, which is the prime food that we tend to eat. We love salmon, we eat lots of it. And it's all topped off with fresh fruits. My opinion is conventional advice on diet and fitness is rather misplaced. It doesn't have the filter of evolutionary thinking to properly inform it. So what about jogging? When you jog, you don't use your fast-twitch muscle fibers. From an evolutionary perspective, remember, your body is extremely efficient. It says, what tissues don't I need to carry along when I'm doing this jogging? And the answer is your fast-twitch muscle fibers. You're exercising, but you're actually losing the premium quality muscle that you want to have for the rest of your life. That's what gives you balance, quickness, and strength. Okay, what about carbo loading before exercise? I don't see why you would do it. If you carbo load before exercise, you release a lot of insulin. What does insulin do? It takes the blood glucose from your bloodstream and packs it away into your muscle and to your fat. And think of it this way. Did any ancestor ever carbo load? Another question is, well, what about eating whole grains? Aren't they good for you? Grains didn't enter the diet until 12,000 to 10,000 years ago, to take the evolutionary perspective. You don't need grains. I don't eat any grains. Going from grains, we now go to something even less wise, in my opinion, and that is vegetarianism. The human species evolved from a line that included vegetarians as well as meat eaters. The meat-eating human eats high-density nutrients, could therefore afford to have a small stomach. You trade stomach for brain mass, so they could therefore become smarter. You also gain mobility by having a small stomach. So if you wanted to look like a vegetarian who didn't quite make it, have a look at the gorilla. That's what humans will look like. I think if you want to live a long time in the kind of health that I've been lucky enough to enjoy, you want to buy the New Evolution diet and see how easy it is to do this.
Great workout.